Importantly, I think for this one, I would like to particularly recognize the staff, management, and the board of Centenary Bank. So today I'm pleased to join you, and I'm going to read verbatim, because these are not my words. I'm pleased to join you today for the launch of Gonza Pay, a new digital financial solution that reflects the continued evolution of Uganda's financial services sector. I would like to commend Centenary Bank for its continued commitment to expanding access to financial services and investing in innovations that are responsive to its customer needs. Ladies and gentlemen, across Uganda and even the region, technology is reshaping how citizens and companies access services, conduct their business, make payments, and participate in the economy. For the financial sector in particular, this has resulted in what some in the industry now call a convergence, where the line between technology and financial services is increasingly becoming blurred. According to a World Bank report, the percentage of Ugandans accessing financial services, digital financial services, was 44% in 2014. As of the end of 2024, this was 73%. In addition, 71% of Ugandans have used a digital payment at least once. Mobile money, agent banking, digital lending, internet banking, mobile banking, and other digital-driven financial solutions have expanded access to financial services for millions. These innovations have helped bridge geographic barriers, reduce transaction costs, and create greater convenience for individuals and businesses alike. Now, this progress is important because efficient payment systems are fundamental to economic development. When people move money or exchange value safely, quickly, affordably, most important, the intended consequence or the externality of that activity is that they generate significant positive impact to the economy as a whole. Because payments is, if you were to think of the body, the economy as a human being or the human body, payments reflects the flow of blood throughout the body. So when that is done safely, efficiently, securely, and in our case, affordably, the body is healthier, the body is stronger, the body becomes much more resilient. And these are the benefits that we see. When you have these benefits, there's a significant positive impact on how economic agents interact and how the economy grows. But more importantly, it has pass-through effects and implications for trade, investment, savings, and for the creation and establishment of a resilient and sustainable economy. So it's a no-brainer that efficient payment systems are positively correlated with the easing of transaction-related frictions and economic productivity. This productivity, and just allow me here, this productivity should and normally does translate into improved service delivery by the government. Now, that creates what in systems thinking is called a feedback loop. So you have improvements in payments and improvements in service delivery, which then feeds back to improvement in payments. So then you have a self-reinforcing loop that potentially can run ad infinitum or ad nauseum, as the case may be. At Bank of Uganda, central to our vision and raison d'être for our existence is the creation and establishment of an environment that supports responsible innovation, one that grows public trust in the financial system, but also at the same time ensuring that that same financial system remains resilient and stable. To acknowledge, it's been a long journey for Bank of Uganda to get this point of acknowledging this. But it's been a journey of self-reflection. But we now recognize that innovation, especially that driven by technology, is a given. So it's no longer a debate as to whether innovation and technology are going to happen. We now accept it. Our question is, while we can focus on the positive impacts of this interaction, innovation and technology, being central bankers and being a regulator, it is behoven of us then to continue to pay attention to the potential and actual downside of this innovation process. So strong and effective governance, consumer protection protocols, proactive cybersecurity actions, and risk management frameworks are increasingly central to securing the financial system, its stability and resilience in the face of the dynamism that's inherent to innovation. We cannot deny that digital platforms are and shall continue to shape the future of financial services. And like I said earlier on, even with the increasing convergence, it's going to become harder and harder to tell the difference between technology and financial services, especially for a country like Uganda, where much remains to be done on financial literacy, inclusion, and expanding trust in financial services for all demographics. Not just for the disadvantaged, not just for the women, not just for the youth, for all. So today, with the launch of Gonza Pay, I believe this is an example of how financial institutions, including Centenary Bank, are responding to these opportunities. By providing a wallet that supports convenient payments and financial transactions, Centenary Bank is contributing to the broader national agenda of increasing access to digital financial services and accelerating expansion and participation in the formal economy. I'm also encouraged by Centenary Bank's continued investment in digital infrastructure and financial inclusion. As the ED said, 82 branches, 9,000 plus banking agents, and now an expanded and more inclusive digital offering. The Centenary Bank service and coverage footprint supports and is indicative of its ongoing efforts to democratize access to financial services for all. As financial institutions innovate, the underlying rationale should be and must always be the customer. Do not innovate for the sake of innovation. Do not innovate because you have the opportunity to innovate. Innovate because you provide a solution to a known and real problem. Using technology creates value, which then improves convenience, enhances efficiency, strengthens trust, and expands economic opportunity. I therefore encourage all stakeholders across the financial sector to continue investing in solutions that promote inclusion, affordability, accessibility, while maintaining the highest standards of integrity, security, and customer protection. To all consumers of financial services, and I'm going to say this guardedly, please do go ahead and embrace digital financial services, but do so responsibly. There is only so much the regulator can do, or the regulators can do, to protect you from yourself. Yes, we do have an obligation, and as the provider of this new innovation, you do have an obligation to protect your consumers. But that does not negate the need for consumers to also protect themselves. And that's why at the central bank, one of the things we have done is under our financial inclusion mandate, we have focused on financial literacy. To innovators, whatever your size, business model, focus on solving actual problems. Do not see problems in other jurisdictions that have solutions and think the solutions they will come here and work here. Do not create a solution and then look for a problem to solve. We tend to do that a lot. But if you get that right, if you get that focus, that dogged insistence on identifying and clearly laying out and describing a problem and finding a solution, the benefits are both to you as the innovator and to society as a whole. So after all, Adam Smith was never completely entirely wrong, and I think, Professor, you will agree, that sometimes in the pursuit of self-interest, society can and must be able to gain. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Once again, please appreciate the Deputy Governor. So at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, because now we understand the solution, we have appreciated the journey of the wallet, and I want to thank the NBS team, because we are streaming live on NBS, but also on our YouTube. Earlier, I was a bit challenged because I noticed that when Joseph was speaking the ED, that's when NBS Live started. TT came, NBS Live. But me, when I was speaking, they went into adverts. Then I was not understanding. But now I'm also live, I am seeing myself. It's important that I can actually send communication now to my mom that I've made it. Okay, so at this point in time, on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to invite our guest of honor back on the stage. I want to invite Professor, the team leader of the group. I want to invite the two EDs from the bank, and I want to invite a doctor representing the Centenary Technology Services to officially come to the stage so that we can launch Gonza Pay. It's also important that because I'm seeing that there is a Mano, I will also invite GM Beatrice to also join them on the stage so that there is a bit of gender balance. I think it's agreeable. All right, so guest of honor, please, together with table one, please come to the stage so that we can launch Gonza Pay. So I'm going to request that some of us stand this side, others stand this side, and then I'll request for the visual. I'll request all of us to get to the stage. Yes, some of us can be their side, then others this side. That's okay. All right, now that they're on the stage, can I request that we rise and have the visual to launch Gonza Pay? Once the visual is complete, I'll request that we give a big round of applause. Those who are indigenous from Jinja, Kamuli, Buganda, and you have a Karuru, will be excited to have one. Can we have the visual, please? Sure the clap can be better and louder. You can also give me some more sound. All right, so to commemorate this event, the rest of us here aside, we can take our seats. The people at the front can then form up to have a group picture to commemorate the launch of Gonza Pay. Right there, let's just form up and face the front, and then we'll have a group picture. Okay, can I request our chief guest, the two EDs, the representative of the group, and tech to stay, so that I can invite certain people who this opportunity means a lot. I want to invite the people who have been behind the works from Centenary Bank to also come and have this moment, so that they have the people that have been behind this work. Please also take a moment. I see the chief here, Immaculate. Please come and take this moment. Also, the technical people, please come and take this moment. This is your day. As a matter of fact, let me first have Centenary Bank, and then I'll end with the technical people to come and enjoy this moment. It's important as we rise, if you are an officer in the department and your manager stands up, the officer don't come. Yeah, it's just to make sure that you stay with your job. I'm just saving you. The physical audience, please join me in appreciating this team for a good job well done. We want to thank everyone that is viewing us online through YouTube on our digital channels. From Centenary Bank, we want to thank you very much. And my final photo will be the tech team that developed Gonza Pay. Please come and have this moment with the guest of honor. The tech team that developed the product. Titi. No, you're not part. They are staying. The ED, you're staying. Professor, you're also staying. The tech team, they are the very people. No, they are specific tech. This one. That's why I'm saying that I'm doing now tech team only. Yes. Are there others? Okay. Let's appreciate the tech team that developed the product. Final photo will be with the partners that are here present. The partners, the final photo partners, please come over. The partners, please come over. The rest of us in the audience, we participate by clapping. That's the only way. It's a bit of a challenge to have everyone come to the stage. Guests of honor, please allow that because the partners are done, I'm among the customers of the bank. Let me represent the customers. Ladies and gentlemen, please once again appreciate Dr. Titi, our guest of honor. Yeah, I am sure that it is nice to be a bank of Centenary Bank. Now I've represented all customers. And now my photo is going to be tomorrow in the different media houses streaming the representative of customers, Mr. Kalulegava Ibrahim. Now, whether my portfolio is huge or not, I am representative of what? Of customers. So at this point in time, we'll continue the program. Our guest of honor is pressed on other assignments. So if he's able to take his leave, let's please allow him so that we can continue with our program. But one more time, please appreciate our guest of honor, Titi, for making his way. All right. So as we continue to move with our program, I'm sure that all of us are appreciating that we're streaming on live, but we'll also kindly request you to make do of your different channels, of your different handles on LinkedIn and your other social media, to please tweet about this, to please TikTok about this, to please share on the different channels of this solution and the wallet that we have launched today at Centenary Bank. To continue with our program, we are going to have the Centenary Technology Services come through to share their journey of how they developed this product. And after that, we have our special guest from the Ministry of ICT, here represented by the PS. The PS is represented by the Commissioner of Research, Ambrose, who will also come here to share their remarks. We'll have a deep dive into understanding the product, how the wallet works. I've interacted with it in terms of doing transfers, but also making payments across the different utilities, making payments of the different services that we have as Ugandans. One of them that I should make mention of is school fees. And after that, we should be able to also unveil our brand ambassadors who will take the product beyond this room. And we should be able to close the program then. I want to please join me in welcoming the tech team to come and take us through their journey.
Thank you. The guest of honor had to stretch this one to maximum. Now I have to bend it to maximum. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, allow me to stand on the protocol that has been already laid down. Nevertheless, allow me also to have a mention of the leadership of Centenary Group, colleagues from Centenary Bank, and the entire Centenary family, friends, partners, and the media fraternity. So much has already been said about Centenary as a bank. Allow me, however, also to say something little about our brand, the Centenary brand. Our brand, Centenary, has stood a test of time, as probably all of us know, demonstrating resilience, growth, and development. From a finance trust in 1983 to a fully-fledged commercial bank in 1993, and moving on to become one of the most respected commercial banks in the country, as has been testified by the governor. Eventually, in 2020, the Centenary brand evolved into a holding group, paving the way for diversification and to enable service to Ugandans in a wider scope. Centenary Technology Services, or in short, Centetech, is one of the products of the diversification. The platform that we are launching today is from a combined effort of ourselves, Centenary Technology Services, our bank, and our partners, Drachma. At Centetech, our goal has always been and remains simple. That is to create technology that solves real problems, empowers people, and opens new possibilities. We do understand and truly understand that innovation is not just about building something new. This has been hinted on by the governor here. Innovation is mainly about creating meaningful impact. The product that we have just unveiled, which we have called Gonza Pay, is a result of that vision. Gonza Pay has been developed with the Ugandan user at its center. Our bank has been at the forefront of the provision of last mile banking services to Ugandans for the last 43 years. We therefore understand the realities of the market, the need for convenience, the need for affordability, reliability, security, and ease of use. Gonza Pay is therefore designed to meet those needs while delivering seamless digital experience. We believe that Gonza Pay will set a new standard in the industry. From a technology perspective, the launch of Gonza Pay is not an end in itself. We will continuously improve Gonza Pay based on customer feedback as we also look towards the future. As you are all aware, technology continues to evolve, and it evolves rapidly. Our commitment, therefore, is to push boundaries, invest in research and innovation, and deliver solutions that create lasting value. And lastly, allow me to join the executive director of the bank in expressing our gratitude and thanks to our development teams, business partners, the regulators, the stakeholders, and customers whose expertise, support, feedback, and confidence have made this achievement possible. I thank you very much and invite you to live easier.
The person that just spoke led the team that developed the product. The clap we have given is as if we haven't appreciated. So I want to thank you very much for the remarks, but also leading the team on this journey. We have our special guest from the Ministry of ICT. I need to be signaled that they are here in the room so that they come through and also share their remarks. What's critical is that everything that we are developing as the bank is to support the ecosystem. And so our special guest from the ministry is to really come and confirm our discussion as we move along in terms of the wallet and its impact in the short and long term. Like I mentioned, we are going to also have a panel discussion that is going to take us through So I'm challenged because now the other person is behind me. So I think I should start from here. All right. So our moderator, Immaculate, the Chief Manager Marketing.
Chief Executive Officer. The panel discussions with Immaculate Ngolomi Nabate, Chief Manager Marketing and Branding, Centenary Bank, as the moderator. Arthur Mukembo, Chief Executive Officer, Future Lab Africa as the panelist, and Stephen Kirenga, General Manager, Product and Business Development and Customer Experience, Centenary Technology Services as the panelist. Future Lab Africa as the panelist, and Stephen Kirenga, General Manager, Product and Business Development and Customer Experience, Centenary Technology Services as the panelist.
Master of Ceremonies, invited guests. I hope I'm audible. I'm not. Oops. Am I audible now? All right, thank you. Yeah. Let me see. Am I audible now? Okay. I'd like to also write on the protocol already observed. My name is Immaculate Ngulumi Nabate, as earlier introduced. And of course, I'm excited this morning to be here with you to continue on the journey that was started by the founders of the Centenary Group 43 years ago. But before we start on the journey, I'd like the panel of distinguished gentlemen to also introduce themselves. You're welcome. Arthur, back to you.
I hope I'm audible as well. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Riding on the protocol earlier, it's a pleasure to be here. Congratulations to the Centenary Technology Services team and the broader Centenary Bank and Centenary Holdings family. My name is Arthur Mukembo. I'm Chief Executive and co-founder of Future Lab. Ourselves, we were birthed out of Innovation Village, which has been supporting organizations like Centenary Technology Services and the group with innovation for now 10 years. And so we're also in that new phase of growth, and we're very, very excited for this milestone for the Centenary Bank and brand, and to share some thoughts and insights on what that journey looks like. Pleasure to be here.
Stephen.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we have taken something at least. So my name is Stephen Kirenga, and I'm excited, as you can see from the choice of color tie, to be here this morning. Welcome to the Easy Life of Gonza Pay. And yeah, at Centenary Technology Services, I lead the practice of product and business development. And we work closely with the bank. And obviously, we work under the guidance and supervision of Centenary Group. So excited to be here, and yeah, obulamu bugonze.
I think wagonze da.
Yes.
So back to why. I think we are here with the gentlemen to try and understand the why. Why Gonza Pay? Why today, after 43 years? And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, is the vision of the founders of Centenary Group still relevant? Maybe to answer that partly, and of course the panel will walk us through answering that critical question, is the vision of the founders of Centenary Group still relevant to the question? You had the Deputy Governor, Acting Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, talking about the fact that we always have to find solutions always have to identify a problem, societal problem, then we go and find solutions. Because if we flip it, we'll get it wrong. But if we start with the problem, we'll always get it right. So the question is, 43 years ago, the founders of Centenary Group decided to be the best providers of financial services, especially microfinance. And there is a reason why I dwell on that. Why do I dwell on that? It is based on 3 pillars. One is financial inclusion. Second is innovative solutions, which are the solutions that are crafted by our partners, Centenary Technologies now, in order to meet customer needs and wants, solving real problems that will grow this economy. So the first is financial inclusion. The second is innovative solutions. Then the third is community growth. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentlemen here with me today are going to answer whether the vision of the founders is still relevant 43 years down the road. Because it is hinged on those 3 pillars: financial inclusion, innovative solutions, and community growth. So the product that we are launching today, the wallet, is it relevant? Does it still answer those 3 things that the group, Centenary Group, is hinged on? So straight to Stephen. Everybody has talked about financial inclusion. Everybody speaks about financial inclusion today. The fintechs, the banks, you had the regulator. I'm sure even if the ICT personnel was here, he would also speak about financial inclusion. But how deep does exclusion really go? I'll start with Stephen, then I'll go to Mr. McKen.
Pleasure.
Stephen, how deep does exclusion go?
Thank you, Immaculate. I think exclusion is significantly deep. And if you just look at, even if you used AI and decided to Google how many people have mobile money accounts as an example, you will get close to 60 million, right? Even this is from UCC. However, if you dig a bit deeper, you will notice that that tells a story that we have done the issue of reach. So almost everyone in Uganda has an account on mobile money. However, depth of use is where the challenge is. We have found that our people, especially in the hard-to-reach areas, find these things intimidating, whether it's a bank account, whether it's a mobile money account. So we have come to the table to say, how do we ensure that we have depth in use? How do we ensure that we reduce the instances of someone going to an agent, be it bank or mobile money, to withdraw, and that's all that they do? So with this wallet, we anticipate or aspire or hope that we can provide for more depth. We can be able to allow a market vendor, a lady, Narongo, to be able to get more than just doing withdrawing and depositing money onto her account. So that lack of depth is what exclusion is all about. It is an inability to be able to use, as an example, the transactions that she has on a daily to be collateral for her to be able to get access to finance. We have very many people who are in the markets, in the villages, who have millions of data in transaction, but they are not moving, they are not growing, they are not developing, they are not becoming bigger or better. So I think that is where exclusion is. It's not that people don't know. The numbers tell a different story. They know about financial services that are digital in nature, but the reality is that the depth is what's lacking. Today, we are saying that we are coming to the table to say, let's fix that together.
So thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you. Gentlemen, you heard him. I think it's important for Mama Mboga out there, because Centenary always innovates for Mama Mboga. Centenary is saying, Mama Mboga, we see you, we hear you, we understand you, we know your needs, and we are solutioning for you. Arthur, what's your take on that?
No, pleasure. And I think it's demonstrated in, I liked how you said, have we been consistent with the journey that we set out to achieve? The bank, I believe, is turning 44 years this year. That shows you something already. Sticking to mission, and it's in your prayer as well. That was very encouraging to see. But sticking to mission means you constantly have to evolve with the customer that you're serving. I believe when the bank started at that time as a finance trust organization, even the way you work with your customers was a bit more high touch in that sense. But as you continue to scale to a branch network of over 9,000, you have 82 branches across the country, the cost to reach and serve that Muntu Wabulijo starts to ebb higher. And so the bank then has to begin to think, okay, how do we maintain that personal touch in the evolving landscape and with our evolving scale? I think you're now probably the second largest or third largest bank in the country if we looked at assets that you have as an organization. So what that then says is, okay, if we're to be able to maintain that personable nature of ourselves as a bank with that customer we're serving, even the way we reach them, the channels through which we reach them must evolve. So part of that then is demonstrated by how you say, okay, let's embrace agent banking. And your network of 9,000 plus agents starts to demonstrate that. But you find that, again, agents, as you go deeper and deeper into these communities, it's still a travel. Someone still has to get to a point of presence to be able to interact with this agent. But that as you go deeper, I have a team that was recently in Alep Tong, very beautiful area, right? But accessibility, communities are further sparsely dispersed. But one thing they have in common is, thanks to the Uganda Communication Commission and the government's access or accessibility ambitions, they've made sure that network coverage reaches as much of the country as possible. So it's that if I can't then commute to a point of activation where an agent is, the next best thing you can give me is a channel through which I can transact from wherever I am. And that the bank has then said, okay, so one thing that is increasingly accessible is a smartphone. One thing that's increasingly accessible is USSD. So how do we make sure that from our investment that we've already made as the bank, let's bring access to that point of presence? What then becomes the next challenge is now layering on things that relate to your day-to-day transactions, to your mama mboga transactions. I have to buy stock. I have to receive payments. I may need to save. I may need to invest. I have things about my lifestyle that if you can bring it to that device, then we're beginning to build a deeper relationship. What Stephen then mentioned around, okay, so how do we make your activity in the app essentially your ledger, against which I can have a deeper view of you beyond traditional collateral, beyond traditional ways to measure your bankability. And that if the bank is then building that rich understanding of you, even what's possible begins to change. So in the convenience of access, in the convenience of use of the application, it's a second thought to you that you're actually building transaction history that the bank is then able to leverage to build depth around how it reaches, serves you as well. And for the bank, what I find quite true to your commitment is with the scale you're achieving, even the ability to essentially unlock multipliers, efficiency multipliers of that scale of investment increases. And that with technology, the cost to reach the next 1 million customers will probably be slightly lesser per unit than the cost it was to reach the first 3 million if you optimize your technology appropriately. And so the bank is already thinking for the future. It's that how do we continue to be efficient, agile, responsive to the evolving landscape in which we find ourselves as a bank. What I found quite encouraging about the product is you don't even have to be a bank customer. It's that if I find joy, pleasure, delight in using the app, the next logical thing is how do we deepen our relationship? It becomes a great customer acquisition channel, a great tool for you to be able to then get that person who never thought they were part of the formal financial system to then say, hey, what else can we do together? So to answer the earlier question, I think it is true that you are deepening your mission of how do we make sure access starts at the very last fringe of the last mile to then bring you closer and closer into the formal financial system.
Okay, so thank you very much. Round of applause for Arthur here. So back to Stephen. Key question. Why Centenary? Why now, 43 years down the road? Every fintech in the room will tell you that they are solving for the underserved. I think it's a word we want to throw around. underserved, marginalized. The Deputy Governor talked about many of those kinds of words that we throw around. But Centenary has done it since 1983 and still counting. What does it actually mean for Centenary to be in this space at this particular point in time, solutioning for that person, the underserved? I'll throw it around again, the very word, the underserved. What does it mean? Everybody is talking about it. Centenary has done it since 1983. What does it actually mean in real terms? Because I do actually know that you first carried out a research. Is there a need? And yes, the need was established. Did you go ahead with a technology team to prepare a product? Yes, the product is here and we are launching it today. But why? Why at this point in time?
Okay, so thank you for that question. I think for us, words like underserved, words like hard to reach, words like omuntu wa bulijjo, words like rural, that is who we are. That is our beginning. That is our heritage, which is saying that we are able to go to the lowest rung of the pyramid. We're able to go to the most remote of the country to be able to say you matter as a Ugandan. You're not, the distance from an urban center should not be a reason for exclusion to services for you. So for us, that is why we're doing it now. With 43 years of experience, these words are not things that flashy consultants will come and tell you in a boardroom and say, now you must speak to underserved. No, that's who we are. So after 43 years, we know that if anything, we have the expertise in knowing our customers by their names. We have the legacy in having grown family businesses and ensured that there's continuity. And now we are bringing all of that in saying that at this point, when Uganda has deepened ICT across the nation, has an increased appreciation and awareness of digital services, at this point is when we're saying that we are ready to join you in that journey. We are ready to ensure that the inclusion is meaningful. We are ready to ensure that this whole normal thing of depositing money, withdrawing, sending money can be meaningful and not intimidating. We know that today some of our people will give the password to their youthful either child or niece and say, here is my PIN number, you transact for me. And we're saying, no, even you who's giving the phone, now is your time. You can do this because your life has been made easier through an easy-to-use service. Your life has been gonzad. That is why 43 years later. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephen. I think that has been ably explained. And to the viewers out there, what Stephen is actually saying, where I started, Centenary sees you, we know you, we understand your needs, and we solution for you every day. Now, Arthur, looking from outside, looking in, because you're not from the group, but you've been with technology and you work with technology every day. What does this actually mean 43 years down the road?
Sure.
From outside looking in.
I mean, I'll look both from the viewpoint of the bank and the viewpoint of the customer you're trying to reach as well. The group has reached a point where you're now multi-country. It's Uganda, it's Malawi, it's looking at what's the opportunity in other markets that mirror the signals of the success we've seen in Uganda, and that opportunity is large, and you are encouraged to actively explore that. But that as the bank reaches 43 years of scale now, it's that you're confronted with three key questions, at least from a strategic level, that are pertinent to solve for. Question one becomes, okay, we have invested in core banking systems. We've invested in banking channels, like your bank points of presence, your branches, your digital channels, etc. It's that, how do we begin to unlock value out of these to be able to essentially supercharge the next phase of our growth. Concurrently, you're also looking at, because we've scaled as an organization, we're at a point now where the playbooks that brought us to where we are not going to be the same playbooks that are going to take us to the next 10 years. In fact, for a bank that's thinking, Centenary speaks to 100 years, right? So it's at minimum, we expect you to be around for the next 100 years. The playbook that got you to the first 40 will not be the one that will take you to those next ones, and that it must evolve with the demographic that you're actually serving today. I think 7 in 10 of the Ugandan population is probably around 17, 18 years old. So if you're not already trying to find ways to resonate with that, excuse my French, but temperamental customer, it's that then you're going to be left out of the economic upside of their representation. The third piece is, because of those two earlier pressures, you find yourself in a situation where fundamentally your business model that you've relied on to get to where you are today is under threat. It's that if you don't then evolve how you approach this from a tactical perspective, from your day-to-day perspective, you will be competed out of business by these emerging fintechs, by agri-fintech, by insure fintech, by other people who are proximate to and can embed financial services in their value proposition. So from the bank's perspective, it's that you're trying to balance the growth story with the staying power of what you've actually invested in to get to where you are, with remaining authentic to the customer that got you to where you are today. And so what that then means is you must start to break molds and act in the way that resonates with them. And part of doing that is to say, let's start to layer on services on top of what we've already built that abstract us further and further away, unfortunately, from direct relationship, but still build value for that customer. So it's to say, you don't have to come to the branch for me to have a relationship with you. You don't have to come to the branch to pay URA, to pay national water, etc. Let me bring that to you on your device. The lack of friction in how you're doing that interaction will build a deeper relationship. Say, but this bank gonzad this for me, right? So what else can we do together? I have my micro business, can you bank me? I'm looking for working capital, what can we do in that situation? And that's not something you can do on your phone. As you go deeper in that journey, you're then prompted to come to a point of service, like a branch, at which point the bank can now start to justify that continuing investment in that channel. From the customer's perspective, it's that these young people are a market. The Clay Christensen Institute has something they call market creating innovation. It's that people who you don't think are a customer today might be not a customer to you because of how you're packaging your value to them. I'm always encouraged by, before you used to buy sachets of detergent as 1 kilogram packets, and that if you don't have the money to afford the 1 kilogram packet, you're priced out of the market, not that you can't consume. And so what clever FMCG providers started to do is to say, let me break that sachet down into 100 shillings, into 200 shillings, and let's see what happens. You then start to see that your turnover rate of these smaller sachets is that much more than if you're insisting on first collect, 5,000 or whatever, to be able to buy the 1 kilogram sachet. There is power in markets for which you break down a product to what is affordable, accessible, utilizable for them in that particular configuration. There's a dignity that comes out of meeting people at the point where they can afford and consume in the format that speaks to their particular daily needs. And that in bringing these digital products as close to them as possible, that's what the bank is signaling. It's that just because you sell mbogas today, or because you are a smallholder farmer today, it has nothing to do with the journey you're embarking on and who you'll be 10 years from now. What we want to be is part of your journey, part of that accelerator of the success you will inevitably experience. And that the authenticity of the bank walking that journey with you is what then builds that customer that will stay with you for 20, 30, 40 years. And that this channel is one such way of doing that. So I think it's authentic what the bank is doing, and it's true to your ethos from day one.
Thank you. Hand of applause for Arthur. I think he couldn't have explained it better, because firstly we had the branches, the brick and mortar. We extended to the ATMs. we moved into banking in the neighborhood, which is our agent banking channels, 9,000 of them. Centenary is now making another promise today that on your phone, in the comfort of your spaces, in your bedrooms, in your sitting rooms, you can pay the school fees, you can pay the bills, you can borrow money, you can do everything that you need to do. You can deposit, you can withdraw, you can do everything that you can do. So it's been a journey, guys. Brick and mortar. Now brick and mortar no more. It's digital. It's in the palm of your hands. And it can be done. So that's what Centenary is doing. A hand of applause for the gentleman again. So Stephen, back to you. What then is Gonza Pay? Gonza Pay, can you just define it for who it is and what it changes? What exactly does it change in somebody's day-to-day life? In their spaces, in their environment, in their ecosystems?
Okay, so Gonza Pay is, and I hope these statements, you can validate them by trying it out. Gonza Pay is an easy-to-use digital wallet whose access doesn't require you to have a bank account in any bank. Therefore, there's no sign here, sign there. Bring a white cock with the feather of a black peacock. No. It is, all you need is simply your national ID, and presto, you're signed up. So that is how easy it is to use. It is available both on a phone application on both Android and Apple, but also because we know that not everyone has a smartphone, and we're still on a journey as a nation of smartphone adoption. It is available on USSD by dialing *211# or *211*3#. Now, having spoken about how to get it, you will notice that the user experience and the interfaces that have been designed are quite easy and iterative. They don't require you to know a lot of video gaming to be able to identify the icons or to first say a prayer before you use it so that you don't click on the wrong button. It is quite easy to use. Most of the services that we know people find useful are there. We are putting our 43 years of Ugandan knowledge and Ugandanness and 43 years of understanding the pains of standing in a queue, the 43 years of going to an agent and being told, sina float, 43 years of driving distances. When I'm in the village, when I'm in Bulera, driving until Mitiana to find money to be able to use, knowing those pain points, we have said that ends today. Surely as Ugandans, we have suffered enough. Let's now apply that knowledge. Let's apply those experiences to finding a solution. That is Gonza. So from fees payments to even things like events, right now we are glad and happy that for Rotary they have trusted us to say the Rotary Run of 2026 will be available exclusively on Gonza Pay. Isn't that wonderful? So that is who we are. It's about ease. So payments, savings are a key aspect as well. I was reading a Bank of Uganda report the other day, and I found that yes, Ugandans are borrowing. Digital loans are in trillions. They have grown 3 times. However, those digital loans also have a high default rate. A third of them, 36.7% of digital loans are being defaulted upon. The same Ugandans, same phones, same lifestyles. So what we are saying is that when you look at that default aspect, and then you look on the other side, when you look at the banks as an example, their non-performing assets are less than 3%. So there's a science to it. The banks have some knowledge on how to lend responsibly, how to ensure that you're not lending or you're not borrowing for, you're borrowing for purpose. So we are bringing that knowledge also of banking, of understanding how businesses work, to the wallet, to Gonza Pay. So that is what Gonza is about. I could speak all day, but I know people want to go. Do you allow me to continue speaking?
No. I think you
So
have
that is-
said it.
Yes, thank you.
I want to quickly flip it to Arthur. Now, Arthur, I'm going to throw you in the deep end. I know you were not part of baptizing Gonza Pay, so you probably don't have proprietary information about the name. But when you hear Gonza Pay, what comes to mind? Quick one-liner, two-liner.
When I was in secondary school, one of the first, we had a class on Luganda, and one of the first things they taught us was Babi Gonza. The whole idea was it's just easier. And so that's the spirit and ethos of what the bank is trying to achieve with this platform, and we appreciate that. And that I think how they've demonstrated that is the different integrations that are already speaking to it. The app, by the fact that you can sign up as a bank customer, means it's already speaking to the core banking system. And so the layering of what's possible is just really limited by the imagination. The fact that you have national water payments, URA payments, etc., already starts to speak to, there's an ecosystem that's being enabled around the app as well. So I think that enablement is the ethos behind Gonza. We don't have to build everything as the bank. Let's integrate with what we've already invested in and then expose the APIs to a network of responsible people to build additional capability, and then let's see what's possible in response to the customer's lifestyle. That is the definition and ethos of Babi Gonza.
Thank you very much. A hand of applause for Arthur.
Maybe just to share, when he was speaking, I thought maybe, you haven't asked me, however, let me volunteer and share that, you know, the name Gonza is the history of it. Mm-hmm. One, as you know, our history centenary is that we are founded in faith. There is a saint that is named Saint Gonza Gonzaga. Mm-hmm. So already we are aspiring to how he lived, which was a life of virtue, a life of helping. However, if you flip it on the other side, in our normal day-to-day, there's a saying that says, that goes, Sente wekuba Gonzao. So the easiness of life should be natural. So that's what we're saying today. Gonza obulamu. So and that is also our brand promise in saying that in whatever your challenge is, whatever lifestyle you live, be it at the top of Naguru where we are today, or at the most bottom of Uganda, your life will be kugonzad. Thank you.
Thank you very Now you get it, Gonza Pay. Okay. Stephen, you talked of faith, and you work for the group, Centenary Group. And you talked about faith. Do you trust me?
Because you're part of Gonza, I trust you.
Okay, as we close, I want you to close your eyes and think 5 years down the road. Close your eyes. Just think. You're safe. You said you trust me.
Yes.
So you can afford to close your eyes. If Gonza Pay has done its job, how different will Uganda be 5 years down the road? And we are on the Naguru Hill in Aplos that Gonza Pay has done its job. What will Uganda look like?
Okay.
Did you close your eyes?
Yes, I did. I closed the eyes. They're a bit big, but I closed the eyes. So 5 years down the road, our aspiration is that, so, do you play video games, Imi or Arthur? Okay, in a video game, there's something called a cheat code, right? Mm-hmm. So 5 years down the road, I hope that Gonza Pay can be the cheat code to life in Uganda. And what this means is that all someone needs, the only hack you need to live, to be happy, is to have the Gonza Pay app. So, and once that happens, you enter the app, you will find payments, you will find health insurance, you will find unit trust savings, you will find savings for yourself, you will find, if you want to go to a hotel and you want to book, there will be an advisory there. Basically, the entire life ecosystem that you have, if you're sick and you go to any of the hospitals that are there in Uganda, you can get services. So I think in 5 years, what a good job will look like is when I ask someone, how did you make it in life? And he or she will tell me, I got Gonza Pay.
Finally, Arthur. Arthur, I really feel sorry for you. I mean, you were not in the baking of this thing, and I'm throwing you in the deep end all the time.
Karibu.
Close your eyes, dream a bit, 5 years down the road. Yeah. What will Gonza Pay? What will it be?
Yeah, I think, now speaking from a broader ecosystem, earlier when they were taking a photo, they invited partners to come and join the photo. I think 5 years from now, Gonza Pay is that platform, that ecosystem that enables a whole life, as Stephen was saying. And that, as he said, if you want to bring unit trusts, you can enable it. If I want to enable payments in my value chain, I can tap into Gonza Pay. So I think 5 years from now, I see it as a connected ecosystem that plugs you naturally into the bank's ecosystem and then plugs the bank's ecosystem naturally into the broader financial services space. But I also see it going beyond Uganda. I'd like to see a South African struggling to say Gonza Pay. I'd like to see someone from Senegal struggling to say Gonza Pay. There you go.
So thank you. Thank you again. Was that hand enough for the gentleman, guys? Probably not. Mr. Kalule, do the gentlemen have time for a question? Each? Yes. Just?
Yes, we have some TikTokers.
Yes. So the gentleman will take a question each. Yes.
Yes, please. Yes, please. You can rise and share your question. Your name and your question.
And who it's addressed to, so that they quickly respond to it.
All right. Let me get you the hand here.
Goes to either of you. So I have the Center Mobile app on my phone, and I feel like some of the things you are describing that the Gonza app is going to be doing are already being done on my Center Mobile app. So do I need to have the two apps as a Centenary user, or is one enough? And if I need to get the Gonza app, what is on the Gonza app that is not on the Center Mobile app that I'll be benefiting?
I think that question will go to Stephen at the appropriate time. We'll take another one.
Good morning.
Morning.
Erinnya lyange nze Mumbejjana Kabiri nkola ne CBS FM nga abantu bali live ku CBS FM live yaffe. Obwedda bambuuza nti Gonza obulamu mugenda basomesa mu Luzungu mwokka oba mu Luganda, beetaaga okumanya nti onyiga kadaala 2 hashi mubanyonyole bulungi bakitegeere nti kugulirako bintu kusasulirako masannyalaze beeyongera okitegeera kubanza already nkitegedde. So bali mu kubuuza banaafunanga emisomo mu Luganda. Nvudde ku Chabasa Fama ne ku digital platforms zaffe CBS FM, TikTok, Instagram, X ne www website yaffe kwetuli live. Thank you.
Arthur, I want to request you to avoid that question. Don't give a response. Do we have any other question?
Thank you, Gava. This goes to Stephen. I would like you to enlighten us on the issue of interoperability. There are already other wallets in the market. If you could spend a minute or two and stretch us into understanding how best Gonza Pay is going to Gonza the interoperable market. How do we speak into other wallets and how do we stretch our services? Thank you very much.
Could we take those?
Yeah, and because my question speaks to him as well, I've interacted with the platform, and I want to ask the team that is seated there to just share with us. One of the greatest challenges I have is to send my money to Canada. And it's quite a challenge because when I tell my mother to send money to Canada, she doesn't know where to start from. So many of us then you go to the bank and then the bank can support you. Do we foresee a future where Gonza Pay, and of course Centenary Bank, the biggest in Uganda, if not the region, do we foresee ourselves in the next 1 or 2 years to be able to send money across the world?
Okay, so Stephen, you're in the hot seat. All the questions come to you except one that doesn't go to either Stephen or Arthur. That goes to me. The one from CBS. Yes, we will educate our customers in all languages, not only Luganda. We are in about 15 media stations in all languages. We will educate customers on how to use, and most importantly, the why. I think that one came to me. And yes, their fears will be allayed, and we'll have a few local language sessions to be taken at the end of this program so that they also benefit from what we have shared today. So Stephen, back to you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for those questions. I'll begin with the first one, the difference between Sente Mobile and Gonza Pay. Number one, the difference first of is from, if you look at how do I get access to either of them. On the first one, you have the issue of sign here, sign there. The KYC, the know your customer requirements for a bank account, Nyabo, you know them. They are not the most easy. So that, from its onset, means that now when you compare with Gonza, which requires only a national ID, it brings the differentiator. The other one is really, as Arthur mentioned, the design that we have for Gonza is that we plan on it being an ecosystem of so many people. And this speaks to the fact that in Uganda, and again, I don't like the statistic here because people overuse it, but seldom attempt to address the issue. We're the most entrepreneurial. We have the youngest population. All those statistics that people like to say, but never used to address, which is how do we engage our young people in meaningful activities to ensure that they make some money from themselves. So on Gonza, we are going to have open APIs, and again, may we speak to the interoperability, to ensure that if you are an innovator, if you are a merchant, if you are a business owner, you can quickly plug into the Gonza Pay ecosystem and get access to all these customers across Uganda. So, okay, thank you. Gava's only one captain, but it's okay. So yeah, so that is the difference. However, in that difference also lives an ecosystem of being symbiotic. And here's how. If you are a Centenary customer and you get Gonza, and now you want to access the things that are on Gonza, moving money from the Centenary, from Sente Mobile to Gonza will be at no cost. So that speaks to an ease of use. Then, speaking to the question about interoperability, yes, number one, from the onset, how connected we are is immediate. Number one, if you want to move money from any of the mobile money networks today, you can do it on Gonza Pay. If you want to deposit money from any of the agent network that we have across Uganda, you can do that today. In a few weeks, if you want to move money from a bank account X to Gonza, it will be possible. As I'd said, our aspiration is to ensure that when someone asks you, Wachikolotia, how did you make it? How did you do it? You only say, Gonza. That is the plan. So we want to ensure that we have an interoperable network across banks, across wallets, and already the largest wallets that we have today in Uganda, we have connection to them. When it comes to the last question of remittances that was asked, yes, it will be possible. We are already in advanced talks with most of the remittance providers to ensure that the places where there are Ugandans, the USA, the Middle East, Europe, we are able to ensure to support that money being sent back home. We know that today, I know that the challenge that we have with remittances most times comes with the cost. It's quite expensive. Our promise to our customers is that that cost is going to be kugonzad, and we are in advanced stages with our partners on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for taking those questions. Maybe just to add on a little bit to what Stephen has just explained on the differences. I think the most distinct difference of these products is that Sente Mobile, and thank you for using one of the bank products, which is Sente Mobile. We thank you for your patronage. However, it is closed loop. For you to be on Sente Mobile, you have to first be a Centenary Bank customer. I think you're a Centenary Bank customer, aren't you? So that's why you're able to use Sente Mobile. However, to be on Gonza Pay, you don't have to have a bank account with any bank, not only Centenary. You want a wallet, you go to Gonza Pay, you get it. You don't have to go into a bank, fill any KYC. All you need is your national ID. Go to get the wallet, the Gonza Pay wallet, and you're transacting. You're paying bills, you're paying school fees, you're doing all manner of transactions, including borrowing in the very near future. So that is a distinct difference. Centenary Bank customer, closed loop. First, your Centenary Bank customer, then you sign on to Sente Mobile. Gonza Pay, you don't have to be a Centenary Bank customer. You actually, as a matter of fact, you don't have to be a customer of any bank. All you need is a wallet, a space, and a team of people who will know you, or an institution that will know you, see you, innovate for you every day. That's Gonza Pay. I hope we've ably answered your question. We thank you. Okay. As we close, I'd like to thank the distinguished gentleman here again for walking us through the why, because initially everybody was talking about Gonza Pay, but it's always important because when you understand the why Gonza Pay, why at this particular point in time, you're able to understand the product, you're able to talk about it, you're able to use it, and you're able to grow with it. So we thank you once again. And with those few words, as we hand over to Mr. Gava Kalule here, this is a product that has been grown after researching you, understanding you, for you, and we hope that it will stay with you. We thank you again.
Thank you very much. Arthur, before you leave, I wanted you to come here just a minute. Immaculate, I'll request you to move over there before we have Arthur. Please come. I wanted you to say again, Muntu Wabulijo.
Muntu Wabulijo.
Yeah, it sounds English, but okay. I think it's possible. So quickly, I request you to get there. I want to invite Professor. I want to invite the two EDs. I want to invite Dr. Grace to come. And we also remember our contribution as the panelists. Yeah, Professor, don't get tired of photos. Yeah, TikTok is alive and well. This photo is not complete without GM. GM. Beatrice, what do you want to do to us? Please come. Immaculate, that's you at your full smile? Okay, I just need to make sure that you're at your best. Once again, please appreciate the panel and the team for taking us through the application. All right. So how many of us have downloaded the application? By show of hands. Okay. Those who are not putting up your hands, what are you doing here? The physical presence of you being here is also to expect that as we talk about the application, you have downloaded it and you're interacting with it. So can I request that those that have downloaded, you encourage each one of you seated next to you to download the application so that they can understand what Gonza Pay is all about. I wanted to quickly share that I have downloaded the application, and I noticed that Stephen, when he was presenting, said that I was the one who was clapping. Stephen, I was clapping because I understand the ecosystem of fintechs. And maybe certain people have not interacted with fintechs, but the fact that Centenary Bank and the tech team have open APIs to be able to interact with fintechs is a big, big plus. Because I think we need to clap for that. Because on many occasions, big brands and innovators out there continue to struggle because they have solutions, but they do not allow to interact with your system. So if the platform is open, I think Centenary Bank deserves a big, big round of applause for this journey. I do a lot of engagement in communities to train people around financial management, but one of the things that I also manage to appreciate about Gonza Pay is indeed a Gonzo Buram. And how? On many occasions, people are using savings accounts as still the money they want to save, but also use for daily operations, which becomes a big challenge. But now I can quickly move my money because I interact with Centenary Bank and that's where I bank. I can quickly move my salary money to my Gonza Pay, and then all my household expenditure, you buy yaka, pay for water, manya school fees. I know that off that money is now on my what? On my platform, which I found very, very exciting. Because then I don't need to open up an account. Then I know that the money that stays on my account will then support my journey of investment. So Centenary Bank, well done, well done. But of course, when Immaculate asked about the future I see, for me the future I see is that Gonza Pay in the next 2-3 years should be able to tell me that, Gava, you can afford a Mercedes-Benz or you can't afford. Because with the AI integration, the app will have noticed how much the limit I have in terms of borrowing capacity, then quickly it can tell me, Gava, you can't afford a 45-inch, good a 32. So for me, that's the Gonza Pay that I envision. The app that will quickly interact with AI to quickly tell me, you can't afford a house that goes beyond the 2 million. You rent that of 1 million. So that's the future I see. But I'm also excited that with the engagement that we see in future, we can be able to send money across different regions. So, ladies and gentlemen, the physical and online audience, please give a big round of applause. Online audience, please give us the emojis for Centenary Bank launching a beautiful product. Now that we've understood the product, I want to ask how many of us have downloaded. I want to see big-headed people. Very good. The hands are growing. The hands are growing. Well done for those that are quickly doing this. So thank you very much. I want to encourage the online audience to make sure that they also download the application. How many of us have used this engagement this morning? Share on our social media platforms. LinkedIn, TikTok. How many of us? Yeah. Professor, you have TikTok? Yeah. I'll tell GM to make sure that you're plugged in. TikTok? Yeah. Beatrice, you have a lot of plug them in. But yeah, for ED, Joseph, I want to tell you that TikTok is a lot of work. You need to shoot videos of where you are. Please get there. All right. So at this point in time, we've understood the product, and I'm sure that all of us appreciated what Centenary Bank is the biggest bank that we have in this country. We appreciate them in a big way. We want to appreciate the leadership of the group, the leadership of the bank, the leadership of the tech team. Thank you very much for doing this and all the stuff behind it. Now the product has been rolled out, it has been launched. by our guest owner from Bank of Uganda, the deputy governor who was represented by the NBS. Now we are going to get the product out of the room. To get the product out of the room, you need a brand ambassador. One that will move to the different communities, to the different villages, to the Mama Mboga that Chief Immaculate was talking about, to the border rider that all of us have, to our Rolex guy who is going to appreciate the essence of being financially included using technology. We need someone to scale up. Can I request we have the visual for the brand ambassador so that we can appreciate their work?
The wait is over. The time is now. Welcome our brand ambassador, Abe Mukibi.
Wawe mama yaya wawe bandaga bano bakuma bandaga wawe uya azomulala bana batano bandu ya kukukuba oluyi chichi obadde chi bakubye kuboda zibadde muno bana chichi
linda ko katono katugene mpola obadde ki
basibye milioni abiri nakata kulenza kabno ngeneza sulala kozi
dimbwe obadde
mubanka yange muno nesiba bulungi ne batema kokulu ne bakulita na kwatwa omusajja okutemyeko n'ateeka wano n'atambula n'agenda okukulu kwake bandange baba okukulu kwake
kati bokkakana ng'ombuulira kati bakutemyeko ki
batemyeko okukulu na
obadde n'ameka
mbadde na milioni abiri
nga gali muki
musokisi
bakubye ekitono babadde balina kukutemako mutwe bagutwale kukuna omulembe tukyatambuza sente mu sokisi kukuna omulembe tukyate babasajja babadde bameka
abasajja babadde ana
bonna nga babagwe nga baba milioni abiri
mitwalo ena
babadde bameka babadde bameka
bana ku boda bbiri
babadde bameka
bana 4
kati kale bakubye milioni abiri ng'oziyina mu sokisi ng'otambula nazo gonza g'omumanyi
gonza gatebye biki ze tonyumiza na gonza wa police
gonza go w'olubuto
mukwano gwaffe
gonza go mumanyi gonza ga mukwano gwo
mumanyi
obadde ne gonza ge ebbanga lino lyonna nga takubulira nti eriyo ekintu ekirungi nga takubulira nti eriyo ekintu ekigonza obulamu nga takubulira nti eriyo gonza pe okuva mu Sentinel Bank
tonyumiza nze bya bank ogenda otwala tsene buza mu banga ne bakusimya line nezibanga zo wabbo obumbi
gonzaga uyo yali afaanana bw'atyo oyo yali afaanana bw'atyo mpola babukubye abasajja ana ku boda bbiri okulina just kutono naye nga kwe kuli
eka naawe abantu bakyatambuza sente mu sokisi tonawulira kugonza pe gonza obulamu kankubulire gwe ennaku zino abantu banka yatuwa enkola gye bayita gonza pe ate gonza pe yayitiridde terina buzibu ate yo terina bujja terina bujja oba olina banka akawunti oba tolina ujja banka yonna osindikako zonna network osindikako oterekako sente yo otambulizako buli kika kya sente kyonna okiteekako enegonza pe nga ngujja agenda kugonza pe
jayisimu yabinteerako
gonza pe
nzi yabinteera
agenda downloading app yo genda ku Android yonna oba Android oba App Store genda yo otadeko otekamu niniyo
national identification number ogenda tumenya
kyekyokka kyeweetaaga
ekyo ki
kakati lindako sente za milioni abiri kuno n'otwala n'osasula buli gw'oyagala w'etaano w'ebbiri w'emmeka
ng'omuwa kati nze okugulu okulina tekulina gye kulaze naye batukoze bubi kati buli muntu yenna akyakwata sene n'azitambuza balina kutta mutte
gonza pe yekka eno gonza pe yaze gonza bulamu baabo oba weeyagala anti buli kimu kiri wano weeyagala sente meka lindako alo nsogera naawe meka
nze nteraako
milioni bbiri kale kanzije nine kamala kuweereza ono milioni bbiri
wakangamba nkateekeko olukateekako ng'ompa okitaddeko
alo bamaze okukola abokufaamu baagala meka
wulira
mitwalo 4
wulira obulamu bwe bugonda
mulina teeka kugonza pe nkale
wulira obulamu bwe bugonda kakati waliwo kano akakyala kabadde kantawanye nga siina bwe nkaweerezayo kasente nteeraako nkateereko
nteerako olina gonza pe
bwe gwangambo giteekako obulamu bugonda kano akantu ojjukira nti kaali
keberako
nakaza dakumudigido
keberako kuzemeka ngambye obulamu bugonda ng'olibugonza oba nakiweraliikirira buli kintu okikolanga bw'oyagala
kati awo buba bugonze gonza pe ekoze ebintu
ogula amazzi osasula amazzi osasula amasannyalaze oyagala kugula airtime notalina bujja
nze we bazibye empunze badde bantemyeko okulira kuliita n'entumbu yange
entumbu eyo gyokuze nayo
ayi eno ya kale mwena tubasabye mugende kugonza pe tugira obulamu yenkola yokka ejja okutambuza obulamu bugonda obanga yesu
anti ntono nnya bannange bakusaba olukoloddoli lwa pini ogenda otuuka gy'ovudde ng'olwerabidde kati anti kati naffe bajja tukubayo ekifaananyi n'abakulu ba Centenary Bank oba tubaswaza
nedda naye ono ngenda bayita
bonna bajje twekubye
ngenda bayita
tubaswaza temujja
ngenda bayita taata
nedda mukama waffe
ngenda bayita
feka tubeyitire
naye ono lwaki kugonza pe tasooka n'agulayo empale empanvu kubanga okugulu kwo
obulamu bubadde tebunnagonda
naye nga tugonza pe
kati taata mbakulekero bayite
nedda sebo tuba tukuyingiridde nebadda kujja.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time our brand ambassador Abe Muchibi. So well done, and he has started very well with just taking us through why it's critical. Mulekera utambuze sente mu socks. This business of keeping money in the house, in a pot, below the bed. We are breaking your house below the tile, below the paver. No. Let everything become Mogonza. Let everything become. And when you kugonza, you use what? When you say gonza pay, we say leave easier. When we say gonza pay, we say speak as if we've given you breakfast. Gonza pay. All right, Prof, ED, and Doctor, please come, and GM, please join our brand ambassador for a photo moment. It's very difficult for a photo because you don't want to say that this is you can't talk about inclusion when there are no women. GM, you need to come. Now this time, to make sure that the photo is more inclusive, I want to call GM and Chief, please come, so that it's not really a mano. is really a photo that is inclusive. Gentlemen, we've come to the end of the launch, but we've started a new journey. A new journey that speaks about using digital wallets that should be able to scale up your life, should be able to scale up your transactions and how you continue to interact. But what I also noticed about the application that I loved most was the fact that soon you will give us loans. Whoever is in charge of the icon for loans, make sure it's visible in the next week. Because people who want to take loans, let's clap harder. Of course, when I talk about loans, Professor Dumba, you may not understand where we are coming from. So we need some money quickly because we are living in the future. We shall pay. What I loved is the loans icon. It could make it fast to work. Yeah, but I think it will be growing with the time. If I borrow 100,000 and I pay back, you now will scale me, and now I can borrow 150. If this one activate it tomorrow, I start. Then the other thing that I loved was the fact that you can buy now tickets to go and watch different shows. Well done, well done, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to download Gonza Pay. I've downloaded it. It's a very easy to use platform. It's on one page, but it scales up so many things. And the other part that I loved most is the fact that for everything we are paying, if you're paying school fees, it shows you school fees here, and it has the real applications. If you're paying for water, it brings the national water. So well done, Centenary Bank. Can each one of you congratulate the neighbor seated to you and next to you and tell them thank you for attending an event that is changing and transforming Uganda? Thank you, neighbor. Yes, thank you, neighbor. It's important that I inform you that the cancer run tickets, the Rotarians in the house, can we give ourselves a big clap? The people who are going to run, can you also give yourselves a big clap? So the cancer run tickets are available, so please go on the platform and start purchasing now. But I also want to really thank Centenary Bank for caring about the people. Because for all I know, you have partnered with Rotary throughout their journey of starting Cancer Run. I think you're making to close 10 years. Can we appreciate Centenary Bank? We've launched the product. The next part is to network and move this product beyond the room. How do we move the product beyond the room? Is by sharing on our social media channels, speaking to the brand ambassador, and scaling the conversation beyond Next Media. We want to thank our hosts, Next Media. We want to thank everyone from the physical audience. We want to thank our media fraternity, the bloggers, everyone that has been part and parcel. We want to thank the tech team, but also the group and the bank for supporting this solution. Can I request that at this point in time, we rise, have the anthems, and close the official launch of the ceremony. In the very order, you'll start with the Centenary Bank anthem, and then you'll move to the East Africa, and then you'll end with the Ugandan anthem.
NBS happening now.